Breaking news tonight in the Stephen Avery cases. Police arrest a 16-year-old relative of Stephen Avery after they say he admitted he and Stephen Avery killed Teresa Halbach. It's our top story on Action 2 News at 10.
This is Action 2 News at 10. Coverage you can count on.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. That 16-year-old teen was taken into custody this afternoon.
Police say in a taped interview he admitted to his involvement in the death of Teresa Halbach today. Police say he also implicated Stephen Avery in that crime. Stephen Avery remains in jail tonight on $500,000 bond for the murder of 25-year-old Teresa Halbach. Halbach went missing on October 31st of last year. Police say she was last seen on the Avery salvage yard property taking a picture for Auto Trader magazine. Her car and burned remains were later found on that property. Avery is charged with homicide and mutilation of a corpse. His trial is set to start in September. This new information was released at a press conference tonight held by the Calumet County Sheriff and the special prosecutor in Avery's case. Catherine Bracho was at that press conference. She joins us live from Michigan with the details. Catherine. Well, earlier today at the Michigan Fire Station, law enforcement officials told us they're confident that a 16-year-old relative of Stephen Avery's was involved in Teresa Halbach's death. Investigators first talked to the teen on Monday and then took him into custody today. Catherine Bracho has that report.
And today, the 16-year-old juvenile admitted his involvement in the death of Teresa Halbach.
Officials say the teen also told them about Stephen Avery's role in the murder, but they wouldn't get into specifics. Special prosecutor Ken Kratz says he always had theories about what happened the day Teresa Halbach died, but what the teen said gives him
a definitive set of answers as to what occurred on the 31st of October 2005.
Kratz says he will be special prosecutor in the teen's case. The teen will likely be charged as an adult with some serious crimes, Kratz says.
Being a party to the crime of first-degree intentional homicide. I will also be including additional felony charges.
The prosecutor says even though the teen is now a suspect, Stephen Avery is still a big part of the case.
It does very much include Stephen Avery and Stephen Avery's participation as has been prosecuted at least to this point.
Avery could even face more charges, Kratz says, based on what they've learned from this teen. The 16-year-old's being held in a juvenile detention center. He'll make his first appearance in court Friday morning. Officials say tomorrow they'll release more specific information about Teresa Halbach's death that they learned from this teen. They'll have a news conference tomorrow afternoon at 2 o'clock at the Calumet County Sheriff's Department. We'll carry that live on TV2 and also on our website, WBAY.com. Reporting live in Michigan, Catherine Bracho, Action 2 News.
Thank you, Catherine. A search warrant for the Avery property was signed this afternoon, and authorities are still carrying out that search right now. Chris Duffy joins us live just outside that property with more on that. Chris.
Bill, Manitowoc County Sheriff's deputies tell me they've been blocking off Avery Road here since about 4 o'clock this afternoon. Now, the property is now surrounded with yellow caution tape, and there are at least 2 law enforcement trailers parked next to the mobile home where Stephen lived before he was arrested. The officer blocking off this road told me most of the officials who are searching for the new evidence are from Calumet County.
With the degree of specificity that we'd received this week, knowing exactly what to look for and exactly where to look for it led to the issuance of today's search warrant.
Now, we have watched members of the Avery family drive in and out throughout the evening, but when I spoke with Stephen's mother, Dolores, on the phone, she says she will be staying here tonight. She also denied any investigative activity going on at her land. Now, in the press conference earlier, Special Prosecutor Ken Kratz says he doesn't expect the search to end until at least throughout the day tomorrow. Reporting live in Manitowoc County, Chris Duffy, Action 2 News.
Thank you, Chris. Teresa Halbach's brother, Mike Halbach, says he's surprised to hear this latest news. Sarah Thompson talked to him tonight and joined us live with more of that. Sarah.
Well, Bill, Mike Halbach says this has been a tough 2 days for his entire family. He says when the sheriff showed up to tell them about this teen's alleged involvement in his sister's death, his mother broke into tears.
Everything I hear about the case and my sister, knowing that you know, people could do this to other human beings. Everything I hear, it's just surreal. I don't believe it, but I have to believe it, and I have to accept it. For this young person to come forward with, or to release this information to the investigators, took some courage, but I wish he would have used that courage on Halloween, and my sister might still be here. It hurt. My mom started crying. She says, she knows, that her daughter's no longer here, but just to hear someone say that, every time someone says that, it hurts her deep inside. I've been confident for quite some time that he wasn't going to get away with this, but the more evidence that comes forward definitely helps our case, and we'll make sure that he'll never get out of jail, and that's what we're hoping for.
Mike was referring to Stephen Avery there. Now, we asked him if he ever thought anybody besides Avery was involved in his sister's death. He says they never closed the door on that idea. He says the family had suspicions all along someone else might be involved, and now that the sheriff has told them that is the truth, the family says they are now having to just accept that. They are meeting with Sheriff Poggle tonight to discuss what will happen in this case from this point forward. Reporting live in Ashwaubenon, Sarah Thompson, Action 2 News.
Thank you, Sarah. To recap tonight's breaking news, the special prosecutor in Stephen Avery's case says a 16-year-old was at least partially responsible for killing Teresa Halbach. The teen will be charged tomorrow as an adult with party to first-degree intentional homicide. Investigators say the teen is a relative of Avery's and says he and Stephen Avery killed Halbach. Again, we're expecting new information to be released tomorrow afternoon at a 2 o'clock press conference. We will carry that conference live on Action 2 News as well as on WBAY.com. Also tonight, the Halbach family has hired new lawyers to represent them in the wrongful death suit filed against Stephen Avery. The Halbach say that Skip Beisenstein and Patrick Coffey from Menn Law Firm in Appleton that is, will serve as co-counsel, along with Tim Halbach of Tuig, Rietbrock, and Schneider of Chilton. So far, no details of the civil suit have been released.